Well, hello, you guys. This is Karen with Inspired by Graham, and I am with you today on Facebook Live. And this is a kind of a new thing I think I want to try, which is mystery cards on Monday. So I will be using the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper, which is a 6x6 paper pack. And I'll be going over my last plea for card club for September, or just not a plea actually. It's just to let you know it's going to close out, and then also my ordering special, which I'm going to extend, and we'll be working with we're just going to unbox paper pumpkins. So I gotta actually hold on just a second. There it is. I grabbed the wrong paper pumpkin, so let me grab that. We are doing spooky treats, so it's in this really cool box, which I will keep and use it as a shipping box. So I hope you guys did great, or have a great weekend. And yes, Debbie, that rain is crazy, and I don't know, you might be able to hear it from my craft room because it's still coming down, and we've had some lightning, but not really too bad. So anyway, I could lose power. There's always that. So if it goes dark, well, it's because we lost power. So we'll see. We'll probably have at least 2 inches of rain up here. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so we'll be working with this in a little bit. Look at this. I got my nails done, you guys. Can you believe it? Little tomboy Karen got her nails done this weekend. So got that post-hiking manicure, pedicure done. So I always feel really nice when I have my nails painted. But anyway, enough of that. Okay, so we will be going over our card club for September. And it is expiring tomorrow for registration for new registrations. So if you're already in my card club, there's 24 of you. Don't worry about that. You're good to go. But if you're new and you're looking for cards, kits in the mail, I send out my card club towards the end of every month. It's $39, which includes shipping. So it's a great deal. We're using Textured Chic Designer Series paper. You can kind of see this snips here of the cards. I will show those to you one last time. And we also are using the opal rounds and a whole pack of Stampin' Dimensionals, which will be coming. So that's $20, over $20, slightly over, products that I always include in every month. And then what else? After 6 consecutive months, you'll receive $25 worth of Stampin' Up! Products that I'll choose for you. And it's always really good stuff that I know that every stamper will use. I don't think I've had one discouraged customer yet, and I've been doing this for 3.5 years. So I definitely have my goals to get this well over 50. So if you would like to join, it'd be great. Okay, so we're again using the Textured Chic. This is Follow Your Own Star. I'm using stepping stones for the stamp set. These are all pretty generic on the inside. You'll receive 2 kits for each card design, so 4 card designs, and then 8 cards. And then this one opens, just forget about that. That was a dimensional I used for photography. And then this is a scroll technique, and I splattered it with Wink Stella. So that is Card Club for September. And these also make a really good gift as well. You can join for 1 month or send it as a birthday present for 1 month and call it good. Or you can register for however long you want. All right, then we have our wonderful world. Just another reminder. I had one customer this weekend place an order, and it was just under $35. I was really sad on that part. So if you know who you are, you might be watching, place another little small order, and I'll combine those two and I'll get you this. but it is 8 cards. It's my kind of push to the incentive trip. I did achieve it 6 days ago, but I am extending it through the month. Or if I get enough registrations, then we'll close it out. But here's quickly the cards. And I'm using Inspired Thoughts. But you can use whatever stamp set you have for sentiments. You'll receive the Wonderful World stamp set and also the 12 by 12 paper. You make a difference. Again, generic on the inside. That's got Melon Mambo. This is Starry Night. Thank you so much. I did a live on this, so you can go back in on my YouTube channel and check that out because we made all these cards. Okay, so that is my Wonderful World. And for orders that are under $150, make sure you're using this host code, which is KMPZQTFX. Don't worry about memorizing that. If you just go to my website, inspiredbygraham.com, you'll see it on the right hand at the very top. You just click on it, and then it will give you all the information. And let's see, what else we got? Oh, I wanted to thank, let's see. So far, I've had 7 people. I want to say thank you for participating in that special. Colleen, Judy, Patricia, Debbie, Rosemary, Kathy, and Susan. All right, so tonight we're going to make mystery cards, and then I'm just going to unbox Paper Pumpkin. And again, this is called Spooky Treats. So, of course, it's going to be Halloween. Okay, so mystery cards. We did mystery cards at our team meeting on last Wednesday. And I'm still waiting for my team to post their mystery cards. So I know there's a few people on here that really need to post their team mystery card. I won't say any names, but you know who you are. So I decided I would make those mystery cards with you guys too. So I used, I do not have this suite. All I have is the Tea Bouquet Designer Series paper. But if you're interested in this very popular bundle, it's called the Cup of Tea bundle, and it's on page 12 and 13 of the annual catalog, which the front cover looks like this. Okay. If you don't have a catalog, I'll be happy to send you one. Just let me know. Just you can email me at inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. So that's what it is. I'm using that paper. And like I said, I don't have this, but I'm still thinking about getting it. I'm not quite sure. I'm more of a kind of flower nature type of person. But when I'm using Designer Series paper, and let me grab it here on the side. What I do first when I design is I take the paper out, and in this case it's 6 by 6, so it's easier to work with, of course, on camera too. But on the back side here, underneath the name of the paper are all the colors that come in the card or Designer Series paper. So, for instance, Crumb Cake, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Garden Green, Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, Petal Pink, Starry Night, or I want to say Starry Night every single time, but it's Starry Sky, Sweet Sorbet, and Tahitian Tide. So there's a lot of 22, 24 in colors. And then what I do is I go to my file cabinet and I take them all out, including if it's a white or very vanilla in the paper. In this instance, it's white. Then I kind of fan them out like this. And then I'll take the paper that I'm using. For instance, let's see, the first card I'm going to be using these lemons. So this is part of that Designer Series paper. If it might be easier for you guys to see. Let me just, yeah, right here. Let me grab a big one here. Could be a little bit easier. And then I'll fan through this paper so you can kind of see it. There's flowers. There's, you know, just your very like checkered stripes. You know, just all different kinds of things here on front and back. I really like this one. This one is really cute. Okay, so then I take my paper. I'm going to be working with lemons. And then I go and I kind of lay it next to the colors. And then this is how I pick my cardstock. So I just kind of go all the way through. So I'll start back at crumb cake. Crumb cake looks good, so that could be a possibility. Crushed curry looks too yellow because there's a lot of yellow there on the lemon, so I probably wouldn't go with that. Fresh freesia is not even in the paper, so I would skip that one. Garden green, oops, is nice because it's a dark, it's pulling from the leaves and the foliage, so I really like garden green. And then Orchid Oasis is not in there. Parakeet Party's just too bright. Then we've got Petal Pink. Nope, don't like that one. Starry Sky. And then I'm testing all of my colors. Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, and white. So white would be good. So my go-to would be green, garden green, crumb cake, believe it or not, and white. So what I did was I went with garden green as my base. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this out because when I use the next sheet, I'll show you again. So that is how I come up with my colors that I want to use. I don't know how you guys do it. Post it in the comments if you do it a different way. We all like to learn from each other. And I just remembered I need to go get my stamp set. Hold on. Let's see. I'm using Color and Contour, which is right here. It's a photopolymer stamp set. And let's see, Here For You is the one that we're going to be using. So let me just grab these. Now, if your stamps fall off like that, it's because they need to be cleaned, and I've been just couldn't do it. But what I do is I use warm water with Dawn dish soap. So I first clean them, and then if they're not sticky again or enough, then I'll take my my rubbing alcohol, or sometimes Windex works too, and just spray it, and then usually comes right off. So that's how I do it. And then I'm looking for Here For You Now. Yep, I want that one. I think I stamped on the inside too. Yes, for better days ahead. So I need both of those. I need this big flower here. And I know I'm going to need this stamp set, or stamp, that one, and a splatter as well. So that's all. I'm using quite a few stamps here. But not every single one. Like you guys know I'm a simple stamper, so I don't go like crazy with it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the blocks. So we've got a bunch here. I've got all my blocks clean. Let me show you. It's like sparkly clean. Every single block I own is here. So you can see I've got lots of D blocks because there are almost 2 rows of them. And I need to get more of the H blocks. I had one and it is gone. I don't know where it is. The other blocks I like to use are B and C. They're the smaller ones, so I'll probably be using those as well. All right, so the splatter and sentiment, there's a bunch of them here. So I would go with, I need to get more of these too because I only have so many. So you can see the difference between B and C. Let me bring out D too, because D is the one I have most of. So you can kind of see the different sizes. So since I only have 2 of the B's, or no, only 1. No, okay. Yeah, I only have 1 B, which is very interesting. So I need to buy some more B's, especially with my retreat coming up. So I'm going to use, I'm taking that splatter and putting it on a B. And then I'm going to take the smaller sentiment, So Very Happy For You, and I'm going to put it on that. Let me see if that B is going to look good. It should fit. Yeah, I like to angle them. my sentiments, and that should fit well. Then the thank you for everything goes on a C. Then it gets a little tricky because here for you now, that will fit perfectly here. And then I don't think this will not fit entirely. So that means I have to get out the big D block. So you have to be careful when you stamp this one because it's very easy to rock it. And I do not use personally these just because my eyes are too old to use this block. But that would be one that you could use too. And then we've got this bigger one. And if I believe it does not fit on a D, okay, it's not going to fit, I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, so if I choose a D, then that tip is going to come off. So that means I have to go up in size. And I think it was either this one or the bigger one. So we have I and we have, so H and I. So here's the difference in size so you can kind of see those live. And then what I would do is, this one's very, very close. So you would have to angle it. And I think it will work, although that tip is coming off. So I'm going to just grab this one here, the bigger one. And photopolymer you want to put down on your space or your work surface. Because if you put it on like this, you could get it crooked, not even knowing. So make sure you put it down flat and then just, there you go. Okay, so we're done with mounting all of our stamps on our blocks. And I'm going to put this all down. All right, so here we go. Here's my mystery card. So the supplies and sizes. I don't know if you guys are making this with me. If you're on my email list, you would have already received the sizes here, but I'll go over them with you. So I've got a colored card base, which I said to be 5.5 by 8.5, and I've already, 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4.25. So that is our card base, and I chose the garden green because that is the green that's in that paper. Okay, so I'm just going to use that bone folder and give it a nice crisp, clean score line there. Then I say coordinating cardstock, which is 5.5 by 3.75. So then I chose crumb cake. Sorry, I can't pick these up. So that's crumb cake. And then, hold on just a second. I need to visually see what I'm making. It's over here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's going this way. And then I said the crumb cake. You got that size, which is 5.5 by 3.75. Then I said a basic white for the inside panel, which is your typical 4 by 5.25. Then we have coordinating DSP, so 5.5 by 3. So you can get 2 of these cards with that size. Okay, our paper is 6 by 6 with the tea bouquet. And then a punched or die cut sentiment label in either basic white or very vanilla. I'm going to be using a punch, and it is the handmade tag punch, which is $19. You'll see now in my lives, I'm going to have the prices on, try to have them on most of my items. So it's a little bit handier for me. Then we've got our stamp set, ink and adhesives, and embellishment and ribbon. Okay, so what I did was I want some scrap paper because this grid paper is like brand new. So let's not, I want to have it on my desk for more than a day. I'm that thrifty stamper. Okay, so I'm going to go tone on tone because I like that with splatter. Okay, so that's that kind of splatter. You can see this stamp set's well loved. I used it quite a bit. So to make it tone on tone, I'm going to grab my garden green. I haven't used garden green in such a long time. So you have to kind of vision. You don't need to stamp everything. You just need to stamp the top and the bottom. And when you're stamping splatter, or any kind of, like, if you're making your own designer series paper, you want to make sure that the splatter or the image is going in different directions, so you're not having that consistent pattern. So you can see how I'm just turning the paper as I stamp. Okay, so that kind of looks good. I want to double check that this area here will be okay, which it is. Then I'm going to turn it this way and do the bottom. Again, I'm turning my stamp set and my paper at the same time so I don't get that same pattern. Okay, you're not going to see any of this, so that will kind of go right here. Hopefully I cut that paper correctly. Yeah, I think I did. I hope I did. Okay, so then we have that crumb cake strip that I said. And when I was making, I always like to make my mystery cards ahead of time, so it makes me feel a little bit more confident, and so I don't like really screw up. So I thought, well, what can I do with this? This kind of looks awkward with the strip just on one side. So what I thought I would do is I would take my paper snips, and we're going to cut this one down. And I want a smaller piece than, so basically two different sizes. One longer than the other. So that's what they look like. And then we're going to add, so kind of envision this first. This is kind of what I do. So I'm going to slide these little strips underneath so we have a highlight color, kind of like that. And then this one will go up on here, the top. So that kind of just offsets it a little bit. So that means we need to put our adhesive, and I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet right here. You guys have no idea. I cleaned my craft room and I feel so much better. Have you guys ever done that? Like, I've moved some things around. When I do that, that kind of boosts my creativity a little bit. So highly recommend that if you are struggling with card making and don't know what to do, or just struggling. It's kind of a refresher, kind of, for me. Okay, sorry. I'm just like, my middle finger and my thumb are just painful right now, so it's hard for me to grip. Okay, so I'm going to just add that little crumb cake as a highlight. Okay, that's the smaller piece here. And then the larger piece is going to go on the bottom. So that means I'm just going to add some stamp or seal. And this one's going to have about the same distance. So we've got the larger one and the smaller one. And we'll be working with some Stampin' Dimensionals today, of course, I always do. And got a nice little handy pack right over to my side. And on this, because it's designer series paper, you want to make sure you're supporting the whole piece, because it's, you know, it's thinner. So I would probably put one here and also one here. Okay, could be overkill, but you can always test it by just putting it on your card here and just see if it needs more support. It probably needs a little bit more support, so I'm going to add 2 more on there. Okay, next up is our ribbon. So I'm using this, I don't know what it's called. Somebody could look it up for me. It's in the mini catalog. It's the combo. So this is Real Red and Garden Green. So Garden Green, of course, is the green that's in our card. So I'm going to roll this out. And when I have a combo pack like this, I just usually tie some baker's twine around it so I remember that it is a combo pack. But I noticed on the combo packs, they don't write or have a label on them. So I should have actually wrote that on here. So sometimes it goes a little crazy with the other one. I'm going to tie a knot bow just because I can't tie bows with my fingers. I have still working with the carpal tunnel thing. Okay. And I went hiking yesterday for the first time in almost 2 weeks since my through hike, and that aggravated it a little bit, but I don't care. I'm still gonna hike. I need some exercise, and that's how I get it. Okay, so I just removed those backings, and I am going to, this is going to be a little bit harder because I got to look for those dimensionals. So I'm just going to bring this over. That's what I like about that silicone craft sheet. It kind of saves my work surface. Okay, so I'm going to just tie a knot bow over on this side. So it means I need to just take this over here and figure out how much more I need. It could be a little overkill, but we shall see. Okay, and you have to be careful because we're working with thinner paper. So don't pull it, or else you're gonna just rip that piece over there. So let me just tie a simple knot. I will show you the card I made the other day after we're done. So let me try to, oh, that was not flat, but that's okay. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit so it's not overpowering the card itself. Okay, so let's bring in that card base. And we're just going to make sure that that ribbon is good and straight, going all the way across. And then we've got, so it's a little confusing because you got to look at the crumb cake, or you just got to focus on this on both sides so you can get it centered. Okay, so I'm looking at the crumb cake, so I know that this distance here is about the distance on the bottom here too. So I think that looks pretty good, and I'm just gonna press it on down. Okay, looking pretty good right now. Then let's take that basic white inside panel, and again I'm gonna bring out my garden green, and I'm gonna stamp that flower. Oh shoot, I need my scrap paper again. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp that little flower over on this side here. Kind of a happy flower, don't you think? So cute. And then that envelope, because we wanna jazz up our envelopes. We're gonna do the same thing. Okay? So we've got those two finished. And I'm gonna put these aside just so that I know that ink is drying. We'll take some basic white scrap, and I'm going to use that punch, which is the handmade tag punch. And right now I'm just going to punch it out of some scrap basic white. Then I'm going to take the label here, and I want it as a triangle. You can do kind of a square, fancy square, or you can do a fancy kind of, or diamond, I'm sorry, not a triangle. Okay, so sorry. Thank you for everything is what we're gonna stamp in green, and it's garden green. Okay, isn't that a fancy font? Let me just show you. It's a little bit closer for you so you can see that thank you for everything fancy font. We're almost done. It's not that much further. we'll take that inside basic white panel and we're just going to layer it down to the inside here. And I like to use my Stampin' Seal for my white. And I only use 1/2-inch tick marks because the seal is very, very sticky and you don't need to go all the way around. Save your adhesive for the next card. Then here we go with the sentiment. And I want it to land, let me get my bone folder so you can see. I want it to land in the middle where these crumb cake strips meet, okay? So right about here. We're gonna pop this up because it needs some height. And I'm gonna take 4 dimensionals and add them to each of those corners. Have I taught you how to use your take your pick tool by now? Taking your backings off your dimensionals? I hope so. All right, so then this is gonna get right here. Okay, isn't that pretty? Like, that's super pretty. If you didn't want to do that splatter, then you could have just left it, you know, blank. That's up to you. I think it adds a little bit of different, you know, kind of a nice little background. Now to embellish it with, what did I want to use? Oh yes, I have the 21-23 in colors. I just grabbed them because I've got some left. And I thought the pale papaya color, which is kind of an orangish yellow, would work nice on this, the lemons. And that's in crushed curry, by the way. So we'll just add 3 of these, and I kind of want to put it in the white areas, but there's really not a lot of white. So here's a bigger space here. And then the 2, whoa, that one's kind of coming off. Let's put it over here in this white spot. And then the other little one will be over here. So we kind of form that triangle. I'd like to form the triangles of the embellishments there. So that is my mystery card number 1. Let me show you the one I made with my team the other night. And I'm going to try to stay as organized as I can for you guys. All right, so I have 3. This was the one I made. And then this was my sample, I believe. So Starry Sky, and that's a Parakeet Party. And then I used Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. The ink colors are the same, Starry Sky, and I like to have a darker color that pops so much better than a lighter color on your white. The envelopes, again, I just stamped. And then on the inside, that one's stamped as well. All right, so that is your mystery card number 1. Do you guys have any questions? Let's see. You know, and of course, I think Facebook's going to let me see them tonight. Oh boy. I didn't want you to send me a duplicate. Thanks for okay, Pam. You still might get a duplicate. We'll see. Oh, you've had rain. Oh, it's been rain-free. Aren't you lucky? I have to use my Stamparatus. I could never get it straight. Yes, don't say never, Teresa. Okay, so no questions. We'll move on to the next one. I like mystery cards. So what do you guys think about Monday mystery cards for a while? And then you guys can craft along with me. That would be kind of fun. All right, so let's grab that paper again, the cardstock. All right, we've got our nice little fan of colors. There's so many different colors in this paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's quite a bit. Okay, so let me close up my green. I've got to clean my flower as well. So let me grab my Stampin' cleaner here. Stampin' Mist. I love the bigger bottles. They're easier to hold on to. We're going to make a thinking of you card. Okay. So I'm going to use a color I don't usually use a lot of, and that's Tahitian Tide. All right, so I grabbed, let's see, I'm going to take a peek. So that's the paper I chose. Let me grab the bigger piece so you can see it a little bit better. So again, what I do is I take, you know, my favorite pattern and I'll go over to the crumb cake. Nope, I don't care for it. I mean, it would go, but probably not my wisest choice. Crushed curry would go. Fresh freesia would go because, you know, almost every color is going to go because I think every color is going to be in that paper. There's Garden Green, Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, Petal Pink, Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, and white. Every color looks pretty good. But what I chose was, I chose white as my card base, and I may have told you to do that, which I did. So I asked you to have basic white or very vanilla card base, 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, so I grabbed that. Here it is, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. And this is thick. Basic white, by the way. I use thick now for my card bases. Then we have colored cardstock panel, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I chose Starry Sky. And then we have colored cardstock 4 by 5 1/4. I picked Tahitian Tide. Then I've got my DSP, which is 3 by 4, so you can get 2 of these out of one piece of 6 by 6. DSP at 1 by 5 1/4, and I chose this pattern here. On the other side, I had those little teapots, which I thought were a little too plain, so I went with something like that for a background. Basic white 4 by 1 for your sentiment. And then your stamp set, ink, and adhesives, embellishment, and ribbon. So we're going to be making something for an embellishment. And I just thought of something. Probably won't make sense to have, well, I'm going to just do it because it might not make sense when you see what I'm going to make, but we'll see. Okay, so we have your Tahitian Tide, which is going to be going on the bottom here. That's very simple. And I'm going to use my liquid glue for this one. I like to switch between seal and liquid glue. And there's some, hopefully that will not get me all sticky. Okay, so 4 by 5 1/4 is going to go on that. Thick 4 1/4 by 11. Then I thought I would layer up. So this is all about layering, by the way. Here's my Starry Sky, which I kind of like up in the corner here with a 4 1/4, or not a 4 1/4, but 1/4 of an inch border. So we'll just take our liquid glue, slide it all the way around, and then we're just going to put it up here. Then I wanted to break it up with some of that Designer Series paper, and again, I chose this one. And it's the same length as the Tahitian Tide, so we're just going to go with it. Can you guys hear the rain? I don't know if you can or not, but it's still raining over 2 inches. We have had to have by now. And it was so dark coming home, like it felt like we're getting close to winter, which I don't really like. It's too soon. All right, so there we go. Then we're going to take that 3 by 4, and we're just going to add it to the top here. I used one Stampin' Dimensional, and that was it on this one. All right, and then this one is going to go probably I want to show this Tahitian tide over here, but I'm going to cover up the starry sky down at the bottom, just because that's what I want to do. Okay, so far so good. The stamp, let's see, what did I do in the, okay, I know what I did on the inside. So Tahitian tide is my color of ink. Here we go. It reminds me of Island Indigo, I think it was. I don't know if you've been around that long, but that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so I want here for you, again, this is 1 by 4, and I want to kind of stamp it over towards the right. Okay, now that's really juicy. I'll go with it though. And then the message on the inside says, and in better days ahead. So here for you now, and in better days ahead. And I want to stamp this one a little bit higher. And did you notice a D block doesn't work, but that's all I really had that would work. And I got ink on the block. It's because when I did my little tap, 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 I had it at an angle and that hit the ink pad. So make sure you can keep it horizontal the best you can. All right, so we're going to grab this flower and my scrap paper. And we're just going to cover the work surface here. You can also, on a bigger image, take your stamp set, or your ink, and take, oh, look at that. That's a hot mess. Anyway, you can take it that way and ink up your stamp. Okay, that's actually, I think, the first time I've actually used Tahitian tide. I like it, it's pretty. And then we have our envelope, of course. And I'm just going to stamp that cute little flower again on the bottom. Oops, look at that. Oh well. You can take your Wink of Stella, by the way. I don't know if you've ever done this or not, but you can take your Wink of Stella. This is a brand new one. I just took it out on Saturday. So let's see if I can get it to work and not leave a huge blob. I'm afraid to squeeze it too hard because sometimes it just comes out too fast. Okay. Ooh, that's close. Okay, so I don't know if I can get it to work because the ink might be a little dry, but you can take your Wink of Stella and pull. Let me just get a little bit, whoa, I'm afraid it's gonna all come out. Pull that ink into the white area to get it a little bit blue, and I think there we go. I think the brush is finally wet. So what's happening is that Wink of Stella is wet, and we're working with water-based ink. So I'm trying to pull that ink in here. I waited too long on this, but if you can just dab the tip of it in your ink pad, and then you could just color it in like this. And you want a little bit of a lighter color so you can see the lines. So I'm not going to do this all of it, so I'm just going to show you that's what you can do to color in a little bit. And it gets all glittery too. I don't know if you can see the glitter or not, but I'll finish this off camera so I don't keep you guys. And then of course you're going to want to get your brush clean. So just kind of wipe it back and forth, or you can take a paper towel and just squeeze dab it and it should come clean. All right, so now here's what probably doesn't make sense for this card. But we're gonna add a ladybug. All right, so I'm gonna use my ladybug builder punch here, which is kind of fun. I like it. We're gonna use Starry Sky for the body. Something different. We're gonna make a really fun ladybug. Here's that body, and then the wings. I'm going to use Designer Series paper for the wings, and I want probably, not quite sure. So what I would do when I'm not sure is I would go to my scraps of that paper, because I'm going to use Designer Series paper. I'm not going to use cardstock. So I keep mine in a clear sheet here. And then what I tried to do is pick out a color that will work for the wings. Now that's too light, so we're not going to do the petal pink. And here's the blue, which I'm probably going to go with, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to keep going and try to see what's going to work. You're going to want like stripes, or you're going to want solid prints. Yellow, pink, that's the pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's see what this one is. I don't want that one either. I want a little bit darker color. So we're going to experiment. I love experimenting. I'm going to take my punch and just punch this out. It's so fun when you guys do this, honestly. So we've got that one. And let's take the Crush Curry pattern. Okay. That kind of looks like bunny ears, don't you think? And did I have another color I wanted to try? Oh, I wanted to look at this stripes here, this pattern here. I'm just going to sneak that in there. Okay, so I have 3 different ones. Maybe none of them will work, or maybe all of them will work. So I just kind of eyeball this first. I'm going to put this body there, and then I'm just going to add the wings and see which color I like the best. All right, so I might like that one because it's pretty dark. This one, ooh, I think I like this one. So this is my first choice right now. Second choice, and let's try the green. And this is what it would look like if you chose the pattern size. That's like just too busy. So you want something a little bit more subtle. And there's the stripes. I'm really leaning towards first, second, and third. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with my first choice, which is the blue, because I like how it's pulling the Tahitian Tide to my eyes, and this is Tahitian Tide as well. So it's really fun making the little ladybugs. I just add a little bit of glue right there. And then I flip it around and I add it. You could use mini glue dots as well. I just like using the glue because you can kind of move it around. And then the only Stampin' Dimensional we're going to use is for that ladybug. And grab one here. So we've got that one ready to go. We are going to add the sentiment strip wherever you think it might look good, okay? So what I'm looking for are these teapots. What am I going to see the most of? So I'm going to just slide it. That's too high. That's covering them, and I think I want a little bit of it peeking out. Okay, and again, this is the same width as the Tahitian Tide. So I'm just gonna add my liquid glue, which I normally don't use on white. I don't know what I was thinking there. And I'm just gonna sneak it in right here. Then we'll take this cute little ladybug. Let's just stick it right here at an angle. Don't want it going over the edge or else it won't fit in your envelope. Then the embellishments. What was I gonna do? I was gonna use the same ones because I thought these soft succulents might look pretty good, even though they're a light green. It might pull from the blue. So we'll just kind of, yeah, I think it's gonna work. Yeah, not the evening evergreens. You know what, the fresh Frieza, let's go with that because guess what? That's the same color in that pattern paper. I'm gonna put one right here and then let's grab a smaller one. And this one's gonna go over here. And then I'm gonna grab another small one and let's form our triangle. You can't really even see that one. So boom, boom, and then let's go way over here. Okay, so that is our card we just made together. Let me put my other ones out here that I've already made. Put this one right here in the middle. And here's a garden green, and I matched the designer series paper. And that's Orchid Oasis, garden green in there. And then the other one is kind of almost the same thing. And I added, that's the glitter ribbon, which is, it's 1/8 of an inch. Okay, Starry Sky. And the back is metallic woven ribbon. So it's 1/8 of an inch. And I just made a bow. Okay, so that's our mystery card for tonight. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, then I will move on to unboxing our paper pumpkin. No questions, it looks like. Hey June, nice to see your name pop up. All right, let's see what we have in paper pumpkin. This is again called Spooky Treats. I can't wait. Do you think there's any treats in there like chocolate? That would be like really fun. Like I need some chocolate right now. Okay, let me grab my take your pick tool and we'll take that plastic off. This one looks like it landed in my mailbox pretty good. Last month was crushed. Okay, so paper pumpkin, looks like there's some fresh freesia there. On the back or the end is always going to be what it's called. So Spooky Treats in September 2022. And then let's open it up. What color is that tissue paper, you guys? I think it's going to be fresh freesia. I don't really know because we're going to learn together. Unless you've already opened your box. Oh, it's black. Who would have thought? Okay, so our stamp set looks like we've got some ghosts. Let me grab that paper again so you might be able to see a little bit better. Okay, it says trick or treat. We've got a spider, we got some stars, we got a spider's web, happy Halloween, some bats, a ghost, and enjoy this spooky treat. So it looks like we're going to be making something here. All right, so next month for December, I'm always going to tell you a sneak peek, is the season to be jolly, ho, ho, ho. And then this is Paper Pumpkin Perks. There's so much to love about our monthly subscription kits. And these are $23.50, which includes your shipping. So all-inclusive kits to make crafting easy. Seasonal designs and fresh ideas to make your project stand out. Exclusive stamp sets that you won't see again. Perfect catalog product coordination. So you can see those bags, which was in a paper pumpkin earlier. And then exclusive access to refills, past kits, sales, and more, satisfaction guarantee policy, and subscription plans that work for you. So paperpumpkin.com to learn more. All right, so we have Orchid Oasis as your Stampin' Spot, the black tissue paper. I always save my tissue paper and reuse it. And let's see what we got here. So let's flip it over. Ooh, I love those ghosts. Looks like some boxes that we're going to be making. Let's check. Oh, yep. I think we're going to be making some boxes. That's great because I'm going down and my husband's going down to take care of our grandsons. And we usually don't see them on Halloween, so we're bringing Halloween to them. All right. Very gentle when I open these up because I don't want to lose anything. Okay. So again, we've got Orchid Oasis as your Stampin' Spot. Oh, this is fun. We've got the score tape. And they always give you more than you need. We got some black stars. And small ones and some little ones. I'm going to put this all down here so you can kind of see it. That one's missing, but that's okay. Some mini Stampin' Dimensionals, which we got minis last month. And then here's our boxes. So, looks like, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fresh freesia. Oh, that's cool. And I'm sure we've got 6 of these as well. Usually it's always the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are white. And this is a fun little pattern here. Okay. Oh, we got black. And probably pumpkin pie. And white. Look at all this. Then we've got the dies. So what I like to do is I like to take these all out when I'm making paper pumpkin. So I just have them all ready to go. And I usually stack them. You can kind of see I'm stacking them off camera. But I pile them up, the same image. Like, just keep going. And then here's the spider web. It's going to be fun because I'm sure we can make some pretty cool cards with the boxes. All right, so that's how I would do it. I kind of just pile these all up the same, die cut. And then this will just be in the recycle bin. Then it looks like we also have some banners. I'm not going to punch these all out. Some banners that are pretty long, or rectangles actually. I'll just take one out of each. Look at how much stuff we have already. And then here's the white. And then we have crushed curry. All right, so we got those. Then we have some glue dots. And it looks like we have some ghosts. So we have ghost here and spiders. I don't like spiders, but that one looks fun. Looks happy. You got your chipboard, so I always save this for shipping. And then we have the instruction sheet. So Spooky Treats Paper Pumpkin Kit, September 2022. So we'll have the directions. So 3 different kits. And then on the back side, it's going to show you exactly what you should have in the kit. It will show you some alternatives that they suggest to do. If you want to see more, you can go to stampinup.com, /paper pumpkin - coordination. And, or you can go to any of those, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. 18 treat boxes. Coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors include basic black, crushed curry, fresh freesia, gray granite, orchid oasis, and pumpkin pie. So, since I have this all open, I will work on this for you guys, and I will have some alternatives to you on my YouTube channel Thursday. How about that? Does that sound like a good plan? That way I'll have this one all completed and done in time so I can bring it down on next Monday. So a week from today we'll be going down. Actually, we're going to see them again in, boy, Hudson's birthday. It's coming up. He's going to be 1, so party down there as well. So I've got 2 opportunities to bring these done. So, but I will bring them down. I will make the alternatives for you guys. Like I said, I will make the samples, alternatives, and then we'll craft together on Thursday night. How about that? I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight. I did with you. And if you did not see my alternatives last week, it was kind of a flop, but I thought the alternatives looked pretty good with the sweet sunflowers. So you can always go to my YouTube channel there and see the paper pumpkin alternatives. That was, I think, by far the best one I've ever seen them put out. So hopefully we'll get some kits pretty soon, and because that would be really fun to make that a class. All right. It doesn't look like there's any questions, so I'm going to sign off and clean this up and start to work on my boxes. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys Thursday night at 7 p.m. at YouTube. Catch you later.